Hello. My apologies that it has been so long since my last video, but I will try to do one now every day or every other day or very often. Part of the trouble I was having with making these videos was deciding where to start. There are so many places I could, and in so many different ways that I could talk about meditation and spirituality. And I suppose I should have figured out how I was going to do that before I did the introduction video, but there you go, I'm learning. So I eventually decided, why not tell it as a story, kind of, and let's trace it from where someone would start if they have never meditated before, don't know anything about it, and let's just kind of continue on and go through with the issues that are going to come up and the questions that are going to come up. And eventually I can start talking in more detail about kind of where my mind is at, but I feel like I should probably do some kind of a catch-up beforehand and give a good sense, even if you already know what meditation is, of how at least I think about it, because everyone thinks about it differently, and you know, I certainly feel like I have a perspective of my own. So anyways, you have decided to start meditating, and the real question is why? And it's not enough to think, oh, this is probably a good idea, you know, I think it's probably going to be good for me, and, you know, it's one of those cool things, so sure, I'm just going to give it a try. Thing is, it's hard, and it's difficult, and it's challenging, and I suppose all those words mean the same thing, but you need to have a reason when you start meditating to be able to keep up your practice. By far, the biggest challenge that I face right now is still just keeping my practice going day to day. I continue to fail spectacularly at that, and it's at those moments when you have to kind of revamp yourself that you need to have that reason, and you need to have a faith in that reason, and you need to have a really strong foundation of that reason to be able to continue your practice. When I talk about meditation, you realize that that reason kind of drifts away. It doesn't mean as much. Meditation is its own thing, it's its own experience, but it's when you're not sitting down with your eyes closed. It's when you're going through day to day, when you're deciding whether or not you're going to sit down or take part in any other aspect of your practice, that you have to have a reason in mind. And it has to be a good reason. And that reason will change, but you at least need to start with something. And I was thinking about it, and I realized there are kind of different levels, different tiers, of reasons that you can have depending on really sort of how much faith you have in the power of meditation. And too much is perhaps a little silly, but faith is always kind of a silly thing anyways. So the first tier is one that's pretty much scientific. It's not controversial, it's pretty much given, which is that meditation is good for your mental health. There's a mind-body interaction that's known. Going from mind to body, there's a placebo effect and other aspects as well. Some would argue influences on perception of pain and other things. From body to mind, that's obvious as well. Our mind, in a sense, is the body, brain, and so, you know, mood and other aspects of the mind are affected based on whether or not you exercise, whether you eat well, yada yada yada. So meditation is a wonderful way to treat and care for the mind. So if health is your concern, then yay for meditation. But that's going to take discipline to keep up meditation for that reason. Next tier up is sort of a personal development, and this I think is also pretty well accepted, but maybe not as much. And you're looking at an increase in sort of general awareness of the present moment, maybe the ideas that you're having going through your head, and the way you see the world. All of those things can be influenced by meditation. And then there's another tier, which is where you're talking about ideas of inner peace, ideas of enlightenment, and in that case you're putting a heck of a lot of faith in your meditation and practice. And then there's even, I would say, a next tier above that, and perhaps foolishly, well, this is the one that I would put myself at, which is to say that, I'll explain later what I mean, but in the sense that we're already at peace. We already have any enlightenment that we're ever going to have, and meditation simply gives us the perception of that, and it lets us let go of the distractions, and we can see the peace and the universal connection that already exists inside at the heart of all of us. And what therefore I hope meditation can do is let me use that peace and that enlightenment, basically, to bring that into the world, and to allow me to help others, to allow me to help the world in whatever capacity I can. And I believe that I will have a far better chance of being a benefit to other people if, well, I'll have a much better chance of being of benefit the more awareness that I have of the peace that's inside of me and the connection that I have to all things. So meditation, in a sense, then doesn't actually change anything. It doesn't give me anything, it just changes my perception. It's kind of like, here's me and my eyes and the world, but I can't see very well, but there's a pair of glasses sitting on top of my head, and meditation lets me put on those glasses. Or perhaps even better, there's a blindfold over my eyes, and meditation allows me simply to take off the blindfold. The blindfold is still there, it still exists, but now I can see the world around me. So whatever your reason is, pick a reason, make sure you understand that reason as best as you possibly can, hold on to it, journal it, repeat it to yourself like a mantra, have that reason ingrained in yourself before you start meditating. And later on I'll talk about what meditation is and other aspects of a practice, and we'll get into all that good stuff. But remember, you must have a reason, believe in that reason, and hopefully it's a good reason. Have a great day, and I will see you later. Thank you.